know, dealing with some of the mobility of the enemy. You take that Lucian and you can stop a lot of his dashes, try and make him a little bit more vulnerable there. Exciting stuff. I'm really looking forward to this game. Both teams bringing something different to the table.
The Twisted Fate, first Destiny, we always talk about it.
Prey gonna have to go on the run right here. Score gonna get in behind him. He's gonna dash forward, and how much damage is he gonna do? Prey takes about 50% of his HP. Score has to flash out.
No mana on Kuro.
As Kuro comes in, TP now going to be the follow-up here from Smeb. Someday is not gonna be doing much. Score actually doesn't get stunned right there by Smeb. He's still on the run. Tomcatch gonna eat him, but there are 4 people here, and this could be 2 dead members of KT. Fly comes through, going to laser his way, but Score will be the first to fall with that first blood, and Someday follows soon thereafter. Fly just can't get there in time. Fly, now on the run himself, does have to flash up into his own jungle. That could have been finished sooner if Smeb had actually been able to
make the first move. Gorilla famously is always the first person to rotate among enemy supports. He's always in the right spot.
There we go again. He's gonna punt Score back out of his own jungle. Prey is there, and into the arms of Peanut goes Score, and that will be another kill. Score with 2 deaths already this game before 8 minutes. Not having a lot of luck. And here comes Smeb. They want Fly. Spear is going to miss. There's the knockback. Gets him up in the air, and he's going to get charged into the turret. Smeb is going to trade 1 for 1 and actually gets 2 kills in the end with the help of the laser.
Oh.
What a turnaround there from Fly. It looked like such a good play.
It looks like ROX Tigers, with the pressure, is going to be able to pick up a drag.
Yeah, they will, but that's going to swing the gold back to KT just a smidge.
A smidgen.
A smidgen. It's still going to be very difficult for them to make plays around this Twisted Fate. KT sets their sights on the Rift Herald, sends 4 members up there. Tomcatch already on that side of the Rift, and gonna get it reset just a little bit, unfortunate.
People always say it takes so long and it's so punishing to kill the Rift Herald. I'm not sure if it's worth it. It takes even longer in this situation.
A tongue-lash Gorilla.
So ult still down, so has to be more defensive than you expect an else to play.
And that means Dragon now contested successfully by KT Rolster. Simply clearing waves on the bottom side to keep that turret up. Johnny here with the ultimate, though. He's going to tag Gorilla straight into the binding. They're going to get the ultimate out once again. Unbreakable Will, they're going to try and burst him. That doesn't work, KT. And Someday is just going to get knocked right back into the turret. They finally are able to take out Gorilla, but it comes at the cost of Someday. Now Kuro joining his team in the mid lane, and there's Achani getting very, very low. Kindred ult is going to be popped, and Arrow tries to stick in. He's going to be the next to fall, though. Fly has to use his cleanse, and he dies too, and a mega dive from ROX. Kuro can't quite clean up Score, but that is nearly an ace off of a very poor commitment by KT Rolster. 5K in the hole, and no mid turrets outside of their base. And Peanut is caught and destroyed. Maybe. We'll see. The ult is going to proc at the end, so Hachani does pick it up. I totally agree with you. I think that the only option here for KT is to answer a split push with a Tomcatch. Gorilla caught out once again, but this time he may actually die through his ultimate, and yes, he will. Score finishes him off.
For giving up a lot of pressure in mid, I don't really like it, to be honest. It feels like second Dragon stats fairly irrelevant. Now these games have been going late, so maybe the stacking will matter. It's Prey.
Prey almost dies, and yes, he will. Lux Fly grabs it as Prey tries to use his heal. Didn't have his flash available to get out, but a nice CC outside of the jungle to commit to that play.
It's also 2-stack Rod of Ages QSS Peanuts.
Uh-oh, now they may. Someday gonna come around, and he's going to get stunned by Kuro on the port. Knocked back by Poppy right now. Someday watches as he gets hammered in the face, and Achani there for some reason. Interesting choice. Definitely not where you want to be on the map right there. Easy kill for ROX. Meanwhile, KT is still sitting at 2. If they can take out the rest of their towers, they will be pretty much even in gold, but this is a Baron attempt here.
Got double pink wards around this area. KT aren't responding. It's down to 5,000 health already.
Yeah, they're just going to get it right here. Uncontested. KT late to this fight. They're going to come in, but nothing really going to happen. Score face check Smeb, and here we go. Kuro just going to show up with a gold card, and he's going to get saved by Someday. Someday slammed into the wall now by Poppy. Gorilla low. He's going to engage with his ultimate. Fly also falling quite behind, and there's another kill coming in. Hachani taken out. Support for support this far in the fight. Arrow trying to kite out Smeb. KT Fly still alive, and now In the end, they trade just 1 for 1. Somehow, low on the mana, so they are just going to change over to that dragon, continue stacking up. 3 now will be secured, and late final spark. All right, so Someday now perfectly capable of tanking up some of these members. Smeb now spit back out. Here comes Gorilla with a big engage. Kuro going to be following up. Gold card is going to move through the enemy team. Arrow trying to kite this out. Big ult from Fly, but it's just not going to do enough damage. They're working on Someday right now. He's got a lot of gray health. Arrow starting to turn this fight around. Fly right behind him. Here comes the charge of Arrow. There's the Spooky Ghost going to get the slow. Prey has to pop over the wall with the Arcane Shift. But when the dust settles, 3 for 1 and maybe more. Arrow is here. Prey has to use his heal to escape. Ardent Blaze not going to find a target, and Prey will just barely escape this fight. Arrow
does it quite frequently. The push is still on. Smeb's trying to buy space. They just want this inhibitor.
Prey doing a really good job, but he's going to miss the true shot barrage. Smeb now finds Score, smashes him into the wall, and Peanut has to use his QSS to get out of the bind. Now Smeb is going to be falling a little bit low. Meanwhile, Someday is soloing Kuro and not going to get the kill as both summoners burn from the Twisted Fate. They want to burn this inhibitor and run, but they are low, and Kuro is in a bad position. Can KT save this? Just a couple more hits left, but both teams very poke heavy around this objective. Question is, Tom Kench going to come through with the Abyssal Voyage. Peanut has to flash now, and here's Gorilla. He is a tasty target for Someday, who is black shielded, and here we go, Gorilla. They're just waiting on that ultimate to end, and they burn him down one more time. KT making a strong defense score. Not enough.
Crucially, Someday was able to outdeal Kuro in a spare lane. Even though Kuro had both summoners available, only just was able to get away. And now ROX turns onto the Baron.
Yeah, they are. Here we go. Going to go for another Baron this game. Tom Kench nearly there, but no one else from KT. Free Baron again for the Tigers. KT just doing a very poor job of sensing when ROX can actually go for that objective. Meanwhile, KT may be able to get a dragon out of this and halt the stacking of the Tigers.
Hollow victory, but one you'll take. The second buff, as you mentioned, is no big boon, but denying the 5-stacker potentially 50 minutes into this game. Burst down quickly. Both these teams have so much
50%
mobility.
HP, still trying to deal some damage to Smeb. True shot barrage once again swings wide.
So hard to get onto Prey. Alistair trying on headbutt duty. Some days, angular damage.
That's a big laser across 2 members. Good job on the binding, but is it going to be enough? Ajani now low is going to stop Prey in his tracks for the moment. Someday still trying to face tank most of this poke. He's going to get Smeb, spit back out, but there's the heroic charge, and they're going to get the kill onto Tom Kench. Gorilla still at his ultimate up to provide the front line as his back line collapses onto Someday.
Really good use of the CC. It meant the gray health couldn't be popped. Tom Kench dies.
And here we go. TP now into the mid lane is going to keep that up. Smeb immediately rooted. Well, Gorilla comes in. He's got no mana for any more abilities, and that's going to be a snipe on him. No ultimate, so they take down the support, but this last turret falling very low. Lots of super minions in the base. Score going to get hammered into the turret, flashes away. Now we have the on the base, and that's going to be it. The Nexus falls in the end. ROX Tigers take game 1 in a shade under 40 minutes.
A game decided by 2 Barons. The first decisive one with double pink wards in the area. We talked on and on about the power of pink wards, but double pink wards, man.
Not great for their Tom Kench or their Ezreal.
All 3 lanes, actually.
Yeah.
Pressure going to be well on the side of KT if we see standard lanes. Expect fireworks in the early game to see some of those deep wards.
A blue build Ezreal, and look at KT's reaction. They're actually going to go for a very fast Rift Herald to try and increase pressure and therefore punish Prey for freezing deep and try and take a turret on the top side as a response. So very interesting adaptation. Why did Score take the buff? No. Give it to Hachani. Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't look anywhere near as reckless as he used to in past seasons. KT now decides that
all the buffs.
You're going to use their pressure advantage and the Rift Herald buff on the Dragon. Good job.
Shen support, of course, very, very tanky. Has at least 1 point in the W. Can just tank up the damage. Between Elise and Shen, they're so tanky. And then, of course,
here we go. Peanut going to come back in. Fly going to eat out. And there's the death. Wolf gets the first blood, combined with Kuro. Looks like it was actually a passive tick. Wade any dive. Someday now finds Peanut in the river. And that's going to be a 3-stack. Somebody's getting very close to Meganar. Peanut doesn't want to fight this. I don't know what he's doing, and he's just going to get jumped on by Someday. They're going to get the kill maybe with the Ignite.
It's not going to kill him.
And it's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, Score gets found out in the top side. Kuro is here, and Hachani, the last victim, left alone, flashless in the enemy jungle, and Prey comes through with the true shot barrage, finishes off Someday as he recalls under his turret. Trying to punish Smeb right here. TP coming back, and that will be canceled in the end. Kuro has to use a summoner spelling, but guess who's here? It's Someday hopping forward, does get the proc, but is he going to burn through the health? The answer is yes. Probably. Once this shield is slowly destroyed, Someday barely lives.
Kindred's
but
on
it's
the
enough.
chase.
Kindred coming around, but Score and Someday are here, and it's just Peanut. And there is Someday with a Meganar. Cocoon goes through. Peanut a little in a tough place, and here comes Someday. Rock thrown, smashed into the ground. Kindred ult. Gorilla's here with a 3-man knockup, and a true shot barrage goes past, but it just can't finish up. Peanut again caught out by the KT lineup.
But it was just a hair's breadth away from the Prey triple kill there if that heal hadn't come through. It's actually going to be a second Rift Herald. Prey picks up the bot lane turret, but across the map, ROX losing pressure slowly.
All right, well, let's give it to Score again.
Well, Shiny doesn't want it, clearly. Let's watch here. All right, take the buff.
No!
Score's like, thank you. I think I lost points
That's
for that one.
that's the worst cliche in the world, and there are a lot of terrible cliches.
But everyone gave 110% today.
You can't do that, I'm sorry.
I'm taking it 1 week at a time.
I'm only giving about 80% right now. Not rushing the Iceborne and instead trying to stack up for the Muramana faster. There's an engagement. Smeb comes from the flank, but he gets taunted. Hachani starts to try and delay him, does get eaten, spit back out, and that'll be a kill for the Tigers as they get one. Prey health already about 50%. And here's the TP as Someday's going to go into Meganar form. Score punched out of the fight by Gorilla. Peanut now over the wall. Here comes the E though. Big Nar into the wall. 3 people, and they're going to catch Prey on the back end of this fight. Prey still doing damage though. He is going to eventually fall, and now Peanut going to come in. Nice pull here by Gorilla as the Kindred ult is dropped, but that's not going to be enough as Peanut's still alive, but he is going to get knocked down by Arrow, who takes a double to end the fight. And that is going to be an ace and a large overcommitment. Pretty much full HP, so 3-0-2 now. Someday still with that 100% kill participation at 4-1 and 5. Help picks up a lot of gold. Oh, Gorilla, you can't deal with this.
There's a mallet.
A mallet doing work. And this is actually...
The chase power from Someday is massive in KT. They finally got the fight. We were worried that they were going to get outscaled, but get the mid-game fight they were looking for. Need to keep them honest. Gameplank's looking for the steal.
Yeah, not going to get it. Does chunk them just a hair, but that's 3 dragons now by 20 minutes. Very fast stacking.
One on the side of ROX has an open slot for a pin board. They desperately need them. Someday's really overextended.
Flash taunt onto Prey, there's it, straight to Cocoon, and Someday is just waiting in Meganar, trying to save him with the Kindred ult. That's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, Arrow gets himself in a nice position. Nar is eaten and killed, actually, by the Tahm Kench. Chani now backs away, but the siege can still come in here from KT, and nice ult. Smeb gets caught out in the front line, and this will be another turret for KT off of a top laner.
Actually spotted out Gameplan. Recalling, but KT going really tricky here with a 2-man Baron attempt. There's no information to ROX. This is almost a polar opposite of the last game. Oh, spotted out.
Yeah, Score nearly died. There's the GP ultimate. Not going to be enough to secure it. Score has his finger on the smite. Hits it, and they'll get out. So a lot used right there. 2 ultimates. Ran to its Omen. Already the Zonya's done on the fly, and without relevant magic damage. Sure, Gangplank's strong, but the itemization is this efficient is a bit of a worrying sign here for the Tigers.
Even just health as a stat helps against their Gangplank, of course. So many other teams to score. Might be caught.
Has to jump up right there. Does have Peanut isolated, but Someday on his own. He's very tanky. Fly has to ult himself to get out of that Smeb. Again, tied up with the taunt. Someday now on the backside. They have to use the Kindred ult just to keep people alive. Another great ultimate and a huge taunt and stun from Hachani, and Someday is just going to absolutely wreck the ROX Tigers. What a good answer to that Kindred ult. Incoming quadra kill from Arrow. Doesn't get the penta, unfortunately. But a quadra will be good enough as they push into the enemy base.
Monte Cristo Arrow completely.
He has to pull back as Smeb comes in with that Abyssal Voyage. Lots of poke. Still going to come through. Gorilla starts tanking up the Baron. There's the GP ult drop. Can they burn down the Baron and turn this around? There's the Baron secured by Prey. Now they have to turn this fight, but there is a giant Someday who nails Peanut to the wall. Score now fighting inside the ultimate. ROX Tigers going to take the first kill of this team fight. And can they turn this around? They get 4. Only Someday left up. He has to hop over the wall right now. He's going to get away, looks like, just barely, but ROX and Gorilla turn that fight. Gorilla walks into the pit to keep tanking. They lose an inhibitor, but they get 4 for 1 and
that's
the Baron.
off the menu. They're going to pick up their first Dragon. 6% stats at 33 minutes are massive, and suddenly they get 6 minutes to push out their way. You have to imagine Gorilla stopped both Zonias and ult from being channeled, died instantly, won them the fight.
Huge, absolutely enormous. So Gorilla once again coming up with a play that...
Smeb's very overextended.
Yes, he is. Going to deal some damage to Score. Now they're going to TP in with Kuro. Fly is here, and they're actually going to get a kill. There's the True Shot Barrage coming on through. Fly has the Shen ultimate on him, but there are 2 kills as Arrow adds a little bit of insult to injury with his arrival. Barrage not going to hit. Nice pull there. But he is going to get tied up by the Ring of Frost. Gorilla now, the next target, GP ult falls onto Arrow. Arrow has to reposition. Ajani's going to die right here. Can they kill Gorilla in return? The answer is yes. Arrow now on top of Prey, has to back out, flashes into the back line, but they're going to live. Fly now and Score still trying to work with his Someday, kiting Kuro, but he gets hit by a parlay. Fly still alive, but Prey is there with Smeb to take him out. Only Score left up as the defense from the ROX Tigers hold for a TP flank. They have good wards on the edge, so they're going to fight the Tigers at the Dragon. Kuro there, loaded up with a barrel, gets a nice first proc, and here we go. The TP's coming into the back line. Someday on the flank. He's not Meganar. Fly. He's going to use his claw to get into this fight. No, he doesn't take it on the retreat. Meanwhile, Kindred ult drops. Someday going to punt 2 into the wall. Gorilla has his ultimate, uses it right now. Kuro in the front line. Is Kuro going to die? The answer is yes. But that's a 1-for-2 trade for KT. And they lost Peanut, they lost Kuro, but they still have 4 members up. Hachani low, Arrow needs to get some HP, but Smeb is just so damn tanky. Someday here in Mininar is going to get eaten and pushed back in. Someday is going to die as Prey comes over the wall with the arcade shift. Hachani, the next victim of Prey, but there is Score on top of him. Arrow has to work through Smeb right now. Score with a Zonia's Hourglass is going to be the next one to die, as Smeb has actually been getting most of the kills in these fights. Dash forward, Arrow wants the finisher, and there's the shield. Tongue Lash not going to hit.
Oh, he did it!
He turns around on the bush face check. Smeb on the highest damage Tom Kedge anyone has ever seen.
His first move was forward. He got torn at that, just exemplified it, but fighting away from specifically his tanks and disengages. Arrow's just life. Prey is able to do Ezreal things we're seeing in the picture-in-picture. The Baron attempt by the ROX Tigers. Smeb's heroics in this fight. First eating and killing Score, but this last outplay was insane. Man, the Baron is pretty important too. It's falling super low. It is picked up.
Tigers
by the
get
ROX
both
Tigers.
the Dragon and the Baron. Let's take a look at this. So Q misses. Arrow this game opting for some more magic damage because they really need it. And here we go. Someday with the initiation. They find Peanut. Peanut in the Kindred ult. He's going to die. 2 members caught up. Prey is in the front line. Peanut's still alive, but everyone collapsing on him. Double kill for Someday. Gorilla here now in the middle of the team fight, and they're going to chase down Smeb eventually. Gorilla turned on by Hachani and Fly. He is going to die. Smeb now stunned twice. Boulder toss. He's not going to live much longer. He wants to take out Arrow, but Arrow just going to back off, and that should be it. Gorilla, though, is actually going to get a kill on the Fly. Where did Hachani go in all of that? I guess he ulted out.
Arrow with the stylish culling there. He knows this game is over. Prey died in the front line. Smeb wasn't even Groot in that fight. For once, ROX's team fight positioning completely lets them down, and we're going to a third game.
What a thrilling final game. Gorilla gets taunted, no more ultimate. So KT wins the last team fight. Someday ends up with a 30 out of 32 kill participation in a very dominant Gnar game. But what a fun one, both Smeb and Someday with some great outplay moments.
And Fly, I was dogging him, and then the last fight got the flank around the back, caught up Prey.
KT wants to team fight this one out, scale with that rise, and ROX Tigers, they want to siege up early, disengage with all their CC, try and poke down some objectives. I'm looking forward to watching this one. We are about to...
seem to be the pacifist compared to Doa's bloodthirstiness, so I guess that makes sense.
It's okay. Yordles can die, though. I don't care about them.
We do have Smeb in this game. That's why when Kennen was getting dived, like, just kill the Yordle.
That's right. Corki and Kennen, whatever. I don't care what happens to them.
So, biased KT fan as always.
Yordles aren't people, Papa Smeb is going to get a little bit. Score there once again. Try and deny it the wave. But Chani going to come in. Peanut has to flash. Chain of Corruption coming over the wall, but there is Smeb. Goodbye. Right into a chain CC. Hachani drops Smeb in the end. Gets the kill, even though he doesn't have Ignite. Fly now on the backside. Fly's going to pay for this as Kuro comes around. No chain of... Oh, and Hachani, the Pulve right into the cocoon.
Gorilla's understanding of the range of Pulverize was super impressive. Using the package onto Lissandra, of all people.
And here we go. Score going to come in from the mid lane. Will be turned away as we see Kuro. And now here's the dive from Gorilla. They get the kill right away. Hachani left by himself in the mid lane is not going to fall. And here comes Someday. Exhaust dropped on him, but he takes a kill onto Prey. Hachani nearly dying right there. Start putting the clock on that particular objective. Herald will be the cross-map answer here from KT. Score once again getting it.
Score is the master of the Rift Herald.
He's like, I have to get this 10% movement speed buff. It is so valuable to me right now.
Wait to see who actually picks it up. Has been Jungler's Paradise for some reason.
He's like, I need to farm faster, guys. Sorry.
He got it.
Does see Hachani get found out right. He walks into a brush. Hachani, is just dead as he face checks a brush with a pink ward in it. Getting some farm in this game. He has actually surpassed Someday, though. And Fly gets knocked around. There's a TP coming in. Prey actually going to come in with a package. Gorilla has to tank part of that culling, but here's Peanut. Drops onto Hachani and grabs the kill. Gorilla on the follow-up, and Smeb just destroys Fly, who gets caught within the slicing maelstrom.
That is a lot of vision. Of course, there was a lot of fighting and skirmishing around there. Smeb picking up a kill. One thing I want to touch on with KT's itemization.
Gank top. Sorry, Papa. Here we go.
Smeb's,
score. And Someday are easily going to kill Smeb.
He was
Someday.
He was really in a bad way.
Yeah, he was. They still have a lot of wards on that right side flank, so they're going to see Hachani. And they're going to see here Lissandra coming in, but nope, no action. Smeb actually gets chunk low, very low, but the Chain of Corruption stops Arrow from getting into it. Fly with the engagement, ults himself, and as the Ring of Frost already down, Fly going to fall before the Shen ult can continue channeling. So they trade 1 for 1, and there's the final shot. Sniped. Now Peanut comes through. The Flash Cocoon doesn't hit.
Get that answering drag, get those 6% stats, hold out the game, buy more time. The longer this game goes, the closer Someday's going to be to his 6-item stage.
Another E threatened, but Gorilla every time is standing on the end of the claw. There's the Chain of Corruption. Hachani eats a big piercing arrow, and that's not going to work either. Actually gets it that time. What a great reaction from Gorilla. He gets it right at the end. Hachani onto Kuro in the back line, but this is not the fight that KT wanted. Goodbye, absolutely everybody. Ace for the Tigers, and they have played a stunning poke comp in this game. And that is going to be them pushing onto the inhib turrets at 22 short minutes into this game. What an incredibly executed game from the Tigers.
Can you ask for it to be any more clean in that last team fight, or just over the course of this 23-minute dismantling of KT Rolster? They made it look easy. They returned to the pressure comps that looked so good a week ago, and even against much tougher opposition.
SBENU trying to replicate the Tigers' performance from Game 3 in the last series.
And on the other side, CJ, a little bit confused.
That is a confused composition. That is a confused draft, Papa Smithy. I agree with you. if they can get some picks, maybe it can work out. They've got a lot of yet for any kind of trade. Double Sheens now.
Oh boy.
So it's beginning, and Kramer is just going to get kicked. Soar is already here. First blood to Elise. Oh, was it to Elise? Yeah, like it. So Sasin actually going to fall in the mid lane. Kramer in the bottom side. Simultaneous ganks. And that means, let's take a look at what happened up here.
Sasin went for a leisurely walk in the river, died instantly.
Yep, Bad Life just flashing into position to land his Q.
In terms of global gold, obviously it's identical, but the control you get from poking down that mid turret, the minion's going to push in, suddenly taking things like Dragon, and the enemy buffs get easier, but because of the recall time, like Tom Kench can easily get in the back line.
Exactly, or the Bard ult will allow some sort of catch up, but now Bubbling's going to get knocked around. Flawless just wrecks him, and here's Mad Life. You are with your jungler, but that is too much damage, 2 kills, and SBENU might be able to turn around this mid lane pressure. Sky here, however, they do magical journey over that wall, but that poke is coming in quick. There we go, 2-man Bard ultimate. Soar just ult Sky so he can't follow up. And Tara in the mix though, he's gonna get that package, will zone out the rest of the members of CJ. Tara has to pop his shield. Sky in trouble. Flawless actually flashes out of his Q follow-up. Wow, and Bubbling finds him on the flank for the one and only kill. It's not gonna stop
the SBENU aren't as good as CJ Entus.
Have you learned that yet? I feel
sorry,
like we're still looking at that one. Okay, so Sasin comes forward right now. Bubbling in trouble. Nice come over the wall. Good engage.
Nice.
From Soar. Double kill for Flawless. Their second dragon of the game. So starting to assert their dominance over that objective. The only 2 so far gained.
Soul, if I remember correctly, the 2 top laners both did definitely fight it to see. It didn't really look like a big factor, but Lissandra play a lot more clean. It's crucially, we saw 2 Lissandra games from Soul last time out, but it was against some days.
Just a happy little accident of League of Legends. And so double stun. That's going to chain into a culling, but a really weird Bard ultimate. And so now they don't have a whole lot to beat back the poke, and CJ's still going to be going after this turret. Are they going to get it? Secret's going to flash in very awkwardly and die.
That was really funny.
Argue for some mimics, and Secret going to go in, bounce up Bubbling. That'll be a follow-up with the ult from Bard, and that'll be Secret knocked into the wall, but he's going to use his ult immediately. Untara now in the river. Sasin going to come over the wall into 3 members of CJ and get absolutely chunked by this LeBlanc. Bubbling going to come in with the repel to finish it off with the execute. Nuclear still alive, but a 1 for 2.
While Kramer did not take a lick of damage the entire fight. Strong front line is what CJ picked with this Tom Kench.
Looking for a shot with his Q's, and Soar actually going to turn around onto Bubbling. Bubbling takes a huge amount of damage, but Bubbling actually coming back. There we go. Nuclear is back here to save him. Bubbling goes too deep. Soar gets the kill. The help of the Twin Shadows, or the Spooky Ghost rather, but Flawless on the other side. All right, so Dragon attempt here from CJ. They've got it down to about 3K. And will we see a steal attempt from Flawless? Yes, we will. He gets it and backs out with his W. So Safeguard going to turn this around. Secret is picked up and spit out, but Untara getting very low, does pop it into the shield. Soar on the backside has to ult himself, but that's not going to do much in this team fight. Kramer still walking forward, gets hit by a Mystic shot, so he can't pursue, but SBENU,
okay,
and they're going to try and take this dragon. So here we go. SBENU is all in. Here comes the TP from the side. Untara has arrived. There's the E, not going over the wall, so they're going to try and take it. No, Lucian gets it in the end for CJ. Sky is going to fall first, but there is a double kill for Nuclear as the split call from CJ ultimately sinks them. Kramer has to flash forward, and the noose is closing around the neck of CJ. Another 2 kills, or at least 1 will be the result. Nope, 2 kills as Nuclear gets it. Bubbling manages to escape to a push in the bottom side. All right, well, speaking of things dying or things getting killed, Baron will fall to Flawless and the rest of SBENU.
But don't worry.
So here we go now. Flawless going to come in and knock Kramer out, but now he's in trouble. He's going to get chained by the LeBlanc. Secret has to use his ultimate to get out of this one, but Soar finds himself in the back line, and that's a big kill onto Sky, whom he locks up with his ultimate. Soar does fall, but they get that kill, so 1 for 1 the trade, but Inhibitor. Okay, here we go. Final Siege, the last Inhibitor, And that'll be an easy pickup. Bartle not doing much. That is not an Abyssal Voyage you want to take. Untara actually going to go in, gets punted into the backlines. He is all alone against both carries, has to use his shield. Here comes Soar zoning out the rest of CJ, and they are cut off from their tank line. Kramer and Sky in big, big trouble. And Bubbling too, finding himself in a 1v1 versus Flawless, has to flash over the wall. Flawless is going to follow him into 3. Feel like I've seen this one before. But it doesn't matter, too many super minions, and that's just going to be the end of the game as CJ will fall in 43 minutes to SBENU, who picks up their first win of the season in their 3rd game.
Definitely looked like two teams that hadn't picked up a victory, fighting off for their first. SBENU in the end definitely had the better, more... not for the Gnar though. He's just going to be chilling in the front line. This is something.
This is something indeed. All right, game number 2 of CJ versus SBENU.
Hyper damage because you're just getting so many auto attacks. With so many turrets being down because of lane swaps, you're getting so many free autos. As Flawless during this time, he listened to you. He's going to take the dragon.
He is, but they have no mid laner right now, so he's going to be taking a bit of a risk, but does manage to come through with the solo dragon take with that Nidalee in the end. Bubbling on the opposite side of the map with his buddy Untara here for some Rift Herald tanking.
Who's going to pick it up, though?
Who is it going to be? It is going to be Bubbling, who is in the...
That's pretty similar.
All right, Bubbling here, looking for the kill onto Soar. Soar is going to get flashed on, but there's no actual... Oh my, the flash cocoon is going to miss. Now, can they get it? Soar, is he going to get hit Mega Gnar in time? The answer is no. Spat on the ground to his demise. CJ is going to get dragon number 2, absolutely uncontested. That is a major win condition for SBENU that has been wiped off the board.
You wouldn't know it from the wards around it because there was none. No, it seems like a low percentage play, but they're going to do what teams have been more wanting to do. The introduction of the Rift Herald means there is a cross-map objective to take. We will now play the who will pick it up game.
It's going to be Flawless.
Oh, we'll never know. Actually, we do know it was Flawless.
Wow. Bubbling actually going to flash forward on a Secret. They're going to get a quick kill with the burst from the Echoes, and Madlife now coming over. He's going to catch Nuclear under the turret. So actually well-executed gank right there as Secret and Nuclear get a bit careless.
And Sassen and Nuclear want to kite backwards.
All right, Flawless now here to put some punishment onto Untara. TP going to come in, Bubbling already there. They're trying to turn this around. Flawless is caught, has to flash. That was a good flash over the wall, but he's still pinned in by the members of CJ. Soar looks like he's going to get out. Kramer gets a kill, though, onto this Nidalee, and they clean up one in the top side, too. Abyssal Voyage coming down, but there's no one there as Secret is yanked out with the Fate's Call. TP coming in from the flank here, but it's not going to be too far forward. Soar is in Mega Gnar. He's going to scoop him into the wall. Now everyone from SBENU is piling on Madlife in ultimate, so he's not taking that damage, but the Rend is not quite enough to kill him. Sassen cleans it up, chopped up by Untara and taken to safety under his turret. Wow, Kramer wants to go aggressive on his Secret, gets him with the auto after the flash. No follow-up here from SBENU. Itemization becomes more threatening. Soar has gone for a Black Cleaver here. Secret going to die again, actually just gets stunned and sort of awkwardly stands there. Bubbling finishes it off.
The solo warding missions from Secret have cost him all of his 3 deaths, been picked off multiple times. CJ pick up a second dragon. Crowd seems pumped, and honestly...
Tom catch, so CJ's gonna have to break this off. Gnar should keep pushing right now. He finally delays his recall. They're going to get it. And we see Kramer, he's caught out, but he gets the wild growth onto a Madlife, falling low in the front line. And now Sassen wants to back off. Secret nearly dead. Nuclear not able to do enough damage to finish off this team fight. Now Untara is here, courtesy of the Abyssal Voyage. They're all so low. Can Kramer clean this one up? I think the answer is going to be yes. Soar is finally here. Bubbling does fall to Gnar, and they're going to try and turn this, but Soar is so squishy for a Gnar. Will hit Mega Form, and therefore avoid death. Oh, clipped. Flawless, but he doesn't fall. Arcane shift over to the wall, so that cooldown now eliminated for the duration of this dragon. He gets it anyway with a Q. Oh, so unfortunate for SBENU, and now the fight's beginning. Madlife gonna punt Sassen right into the middle. Big Gnar ultimate, though, is going to be hit onto 3 members. There's a follow-up with Morgana, but they're dealing with Untara right now. Secret just dies, and now Flawless on the run, has to go over the wall. Soar pops over himself, but Kramer's there on the follow-up, and Kramer gets a triple when all is said and done. Nuclear, the only member of SBENU alive.
Enemy time with the ultimate, but did not manage the self-cast Lamb's Respite. Died with his ult available, so he just died in the front line. The team changed target, they pivoted, and they should get Baron and a 1-team fight as a result.
Well, that was definitely set up by Madlife's Engage, who found Sauce. Pretty much pure AP. They're going to try and get the drop onto Kramer, but Secret is found out. And here we go, Madlife in once again onto Sasson. Nice glitter lance to start off this battle. Sasson polymorphed and now has to back away. But the poke damage here, they're going to try and turn on to Sky again. There's the knock-up coming through. But here's Soar over the side. He's going to ult only Untara. Meanwhile, Kramer firing from the other side of the wall is going to pick up the first kill of the fight. And I don't know if they have the damage. They're fighting in the Kindred ult right now, but that's not going to work out for the members of SBENU as the CC dominates the fight once again from Madlife, and that is a 4-for-0. There was no reason to fight right there.
And Nuclear was zoned the entire end of that fight, did no auto attack damage whatsoever. Kramer free hit first over the wall, then towards the side of his frontline tank line. It doesn't really matter if you don't have any other damage dealers when we're early enough in the game. That's not really a factor.
Tom Kench is here with the Abyssal Voyage, and this looks like it's going to be the end of game number 2 and send us into our 3rd game of the evening here between SBENU and CJ. CJ will net their first win of the season. It's been rough. It took them 6 games to do it, but they finally get one, and they put themselves on the verge of winning their first series.
This is actually a matchup I have seen in China a lot. You do outscale the Maokai, just split push all the things. It's one of those situations where Maokai doesn't do enough damage, just disregard him and keep pushing. And the push, push, push might actually be on by Saw. Does 1 extra damage to Malphite.
Bubbling is waiting here for Secret. He's going to face check this bush with a pink ward. Madlife over the wall, but without a summoner, there's no actual follow-up. And here comes Untara. Flawless makes his gank at the top side. Untara going to flash over Soar with the counter flash. First blood to Flawless. They can't quite give it to Soar in a pink ward, hoping that CJ wants to make this play. There's going to be a cocoon on to Kramer, and holy cow, the burst. And that is instant death.
Getting what he was looking for. With percentage health damage from the W and just Kindred suite of damage, should be able to pick up the Rift Herald as well.
I assume we're going to put this onto Bubbling because the Rift Herald jungler has been what we've been seeing tonight. And no, Untara benefits.
Be very, very quiet.
We're ganking Sassons. Oh, and there we go, flash, but no W follow-up. Flawless is there. Have they overextended? Here comes Soar. He's very squishy, though. I'm not sure about this. And the Chaos Storm almost kills him. Are they going to turn this around? Secret is here, and he comes in with a nice ultimate, blocking off 3 members. Flawless now left alive, is going to repel. Meanwhile, Nuclear is chasing Kramer up. He's going to flash the Callista ultimate before it nails him. So they're going to turn their focus to the Dragon instead. Definitely a more likely objective at this point in time.
First stack, again quite late, 13 minutes, especially by Series 1 speeds. I believe that Trundle this patch no longer gets the auto attack reset, doing extra damage to turrets, but of course it's built AD and in general is doing just fine. It's going to keep onto Untara. Can Flawless get here fast enough?
And there's the flash cocoon. Untara's going to get hit by it. That's it. Right there. Soar smashes Untara with his police baton. And that is just a horrible demonstration of police brutality right there in Summoner's Rift. Nuclear now bounced around. Bubbling is going to be ulted. Nuclear exhausted. He's trying to get out, but the Chaos Storm is enough. Secret now on the retreat under his turret. Bubbling jumps forward, and can Sky finish this off? One last auto, and that will be a double kill for Sky as he roams into the bottom side. Sasson was busy occupied doing blue buff with Flawless at that time, so probably a smarter idea would have been to retreat. Everyone stacked and to kill it in exchange for 1 turret and 2 kills.
But you know what else would have been better? If they hadn't given up any deaths from just pointlessly overextending.
Yes, quite clear. Flawless again here. Untara is in a world of hurt. Sasson coming through, wants to move into hammer time. Secret now, gonna queue, and there we go. pops into the skies for the kill.
Imagine that. Those would be the minions to end all minions.
So Rift Herald, we're going to find out maybe though, Papa Smithy. This game could answer our questions. Score is by himself, but he has ulted. Now Mad Life coming around, no help here, he has overextended. So here we go, the play onto Soar continues. He's life-stealing a little bit. He's now back in his small form, and that will mean that Bubbling gets the coup de grace on him. Otherwise, they've got pretty much, what, Callista Q. Oh, they're going to go in. Sasson actually gets caught out in the front line, but he flashes back immediately, turns into Hammer Stance, goes on to Untara, and here is Soar with the TP, and another great ultimate from Lissandra, but are they going to turn this around now? Soar is an absolute monster. Untara is dead, and so is Secret. Big AoE tentatively going in. They actually send Bubbling into the top side.
He doesn't care about him either.
Yeah, Soar really not taking damage. So here's Untara. He's actually TP'd. Oh no, he just walked down with Righteous Glory. I got excited. Now he's actually cocooned and then chained into a Lissandra ultimate. They'll trade Flawless for this.
Meanwhile,
Bubbling was the one set up into the top lane, and Maokai brought back down to press forward. So here we go. Untara with the TP. He's got the home guard. Soar has no mana. So this will be easy. Popped up into the air is Soar a couple of times with a Pulve and an Arcane Smash, and CJ may be going for a bold little Baron play.
Left their officer out to dry. Officer down, Monty. I don't believe that's how they're supposed to fight. I think that's actually not good, but did it anyway. And
yeah, a policeman should really never be alone, right? That's why they always work in pairs.
It's true.
They're really dangerous. No split pushing police, please.
Baron is being DPS down.
Yeah, it is. Now Poke coming into the pit. Sasson going to catch Mad Life on the outside. They get the Baron, though. Kindred will take it. Now the Callista ult coming in. Flawless up in the air. Has to flash out. Sasson now the target. He gets locked down, and Nuclear needs to make something happen, but it's not going to. 2 more kills for CJ.
And this was so easily averted by keeping the...
Uh-oh.
Start the dragon.
This may be an overcommitment here by SBENU. And there we see Untara coming down from the bottom side. Flawless is going to get caught, but actually Jace steals the dragon, but they sacrifice their jungler for it. And now Secret is double killed here by Sky. Mad Life thrown forward by the Callista ult into the front line.
What did I tell you about the lure of the dragon?
It's a noob trap. The super minions from CJ will clear that out.
And slow push back.
And slow push back. So anyway, Soar going to get caught into the mid lane right now. He's actually going to fall. Untara tanking the culling. Kramer and Sky following up, and they take out the main threat. Sasson on the run. Untara flash W's in. Mad Life with the follow-up CC. And now CJ Entus is on the verge of a huge turnaround.
I'd call it an upset, but we set our expectations higher for SBENU, low for CJ, and it feels like we were slightly off on both barometers.
Yeah, SBENU just unable to close this game in spite of the massive edge that they got through CJ's poor shot calling early, CJ cleaning it up, playing the defensive game, and outlasting their second Baron, now taken. Does seem rather inevitable at this stage, doesn't it, Papa Smithy? Okay, CJ now going to use Righteous Glory. They want to move forward here. They're going to get ulted in the back line. Sky actually hit by Lissandra, and now Bubbling falling low, but remember, he does have that Land's Respite, and Kramer now takes out Sasson. So this is going to be an ace. Untara is alive still and will trade the kill in the end, but the ace comes through for CJ. They come back at 40 minutes to take the second game win of this series and the match in what looked like going to be a SBENU win. They rob it and turn it around.
Highway robbery from CJ Entus, but what a confidence lift that this will give to a squad that wasn't thought much of either by us or by the fans. Everyone thought it was going to be purely a rebuilding season, but remember, last season SBENU only picked up 1 win. It's 1 series win the entire season.